Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be doing something that I haven't done in a while, which is a video response or a tag video response to a great YouTuber here in the community, C-Stove. I've been subscribed to him for quite some time. He does a lot of great videos, pickup videos, and he's also a big Legend of Zelda fan, which is a great plus in my book because I'm also a huge Zelda fan. But he did a response for another YouTuber. That's the way tag videos work. I'm not really sure what the origin or who is the YouTuber that created this particular set of questions, but they get passed along. YouTubers and C-Stove tagged me. So I'm gonna leave a link below to his channel so you guys can check him out if you haven't done already, because he's a great guy and he has a lot of great content. But on to the questions that he tagged me. Again, I don't know who created these questions, but I have my cheat sheet here. So let's just start with the questions. There are 4 questions, and the first one is, do you struggle getting games? I'm not really sure what the context of the question is. I'm going to answer it in 2 different ways. The first, I'm guessing the context maybe is financially. Not really. I have a okay paying job, so I can afford to buy games that I want. But at the same time, I think I'm pretty responsible when it comes to buying games. I try not to get too much carried away in that regard. And I'm also pretty good at finding deals. Some of you guys may know when I do my pickups videos, I mention, I got this game on sale at a certain retail store, or I use my 20% discount that I have through Best Buy. So I'm pretty good at saving money when I do my pickups. And again, I have an okay paying job, so that helps a lot too if I want to get a new release and I have to pay full price. So do I struggle buying games in that way? Not really. But if the question was meant in a different way, the meaning could be, do you struggle getting games? Like if you're a collector, do you struggle getting like rare games? And if it's in that regard, not really, because I think the hard games to get are obviously the retro games, like the Super Nintendo games. If you're into RPGs, getting Earthbound, getting all those, Secret of Mana, all those RPGs. I'm sure it's very hard to find, but as you guys know, I have a pretty big focus on modern games. I do buy retro games every now and then, but thankfully I'm not really into collecting retro games as I used to before. So I'm not really on the constant lookout for Earthbound or those rare Super Nintendo or NES games from back in the day. So in that regard, I don't really have to worry about, or I don't really struggle buying games, because I'm not really into retro gaming as much as I used to. Now the second question is, do you regret making a trade? Yes, in a way. This takes me all the way back to when I got my Super Nintendo. One of the games that I got along with it was Super Metroid, for example. And of course, I was a kid, I didn't have a job, so what we used to do back then was, after you beat the game, you would take it to the store, pay a little bit of a difference, and then you get a new game. So it was basically a trade. So I traded many great games like Super Metroid. I remember I paid the difference and I got A Link to the Past, which is another great game. But after I beat Zelda A Link to the Past, I remember taking it to the store, paid the difference, and I got Aero the Acrobat 2, which is a great platformer actually. But when you look at it as a value thing, nowadays getting a Legend of Zelda complete in the box, it's like $100 or something like that on eBay. It's pretty ridiculous. So as a value thing, I guess I was on the losing end of it, but I guess you can say, I did a lot of those types of trades back in the day, full, complete, in-box Super Nintendo games that I could consider, pretty valuable nowadays. I ended up trading those, so that's that. Question number 3 is, if you could replay a game not knowing anything about it, which one would it be? I thought about answering Xenoblade Chronicles just because I love that game so much, the story, the characters, and the setting. And I figured most people are answering one of their favorite games of all time, but I'm going to do a little bit something different, and I'm going to say Heavy Rain. Why? Because shortly before the game got released, I got spoiled by who the Origami Killer was. Not necessarily directly spoiled, but I read a hint of who the Origami Killer might be. So as I was playing the game, I had an idea. And as you guys know, Heavy Rain for the PlayStation 3 is a very very heavy based in story, because it's almost like a visual novel or type of game, or like a movie, interactive movie if you want to call it that. So as I was playing the game, I had an idea who the Origami Killer was, and that kind of ruined the experience for me. And yeah, I wish I could replay Heavy Rain for the PS3 without knowing anything. And after all, it's not a game that I really enjoyed. I thought it was a good game, but it fell a little bit short of my expectations. So that's that. And the last question, number 4, is which system would you want to be buried with? This is another weird question that in my opinion has like 2 meanings. One of them might be like a symbolic thing, like which was the console that you enjoyed the most, that it meant the most to you. And of course, as my username implies, SNES Mapper, the Super Nintendo obviously has a very special place in my heart, because even though I grew up during the 8-bit era, the Nintendo Entertainment System and all of that, it wasn't until the Super Nintendo that I really got hooked into video games. So, in my opinion, the Super Nintendo has just a very special place as far as nostalgia and all that. So, if that's the meaning of the question, kind of like as a symbolic thing, yeah, I would say I want to be buried with a Super Nintendo. But if the question has the meaning of, if you could play a system for eternity, I'm going to cheat a little bit here and say the Wii U. Why? Because the Wii U, you can play Wii U games, you can play regular Wii games, and then you have eShop games, all the indie titles, and then also you have access to the Virtual Console where you can play Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Game Boy Advance games. And on top of that, because the Wii U has a Wii mode, you can also access the Wii Virtual Console, which has access to the Sega Genesis, the Master System, the TurboGrafx, the Neo Geo Advance Entertainment System. So basically, you have this whole big array of retro and modern gaming with the Wii U. So that might be cheating a little bit, but that's my answer. So that's it. I'm supposed to be tagging, I don't know how many people I'm supposed to be tagging. I know C-Stove, he tagged 4 people, but I decided to go only with 1 person just to keep it simple, because if I tag a lot of people, then some other people may say, why didn't you tag me, or something like that. So I decided to go with 1 person, and this is a guy that I've been enjoying his channel a great deal as of late, and I encourage you guys to go and check him out. I'm going to leave a link below. And he's fairly new to the community, and this guy is the funny nerd, Leo Oliveira. So he has a great channel. I've been enjoying it a lot, so I'm going to tag you, buddy. Hopefully you get to see this video and do a tag video response. So that's it for now. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all later.